Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, folks. It's been a little bit. Hope everybody's doing all right on this New Year's Eve situation we have going on here. Once again, I appreciate everybody stopping in. It's good to have you guys in once again. Could not leave the year, leave 2024 without saying peace to everybody once again for always being back here, supporting the conversations that we have, and so on and so forth, bringing some fruitful things to the conversations every single time we do this. So I wanted to peace out everybody once again for being present, staying with it, getting better every single day, contributing to your craft, improving, and all that stuff in between, folks. Once again, appreciate everybody for always stopping by. Could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Totally appreciate y'all. Had to play this track though. This is one in my mind. I'm like, all right, this one is when I think about a little celebration, this one comes to my mind. So since most people are in a celebratory mood as far as the end of the year stuff is concerned. I just thought it was the right song for the moment. So that's that. Peace to everybody that's up in here. Once again, Craig Murray, I see you. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing good. Jeffrey, appreciate you stopping in. Hope you're doing good here. So, looking like we almost had a little end of the year kind of press on GME. I don't know. I mean, just the way things are looking. It just didn't quite happen yet, but they're keeping us on our toes right here. Right, we had a few breakouts that have basically shown themselves today, and I think we still have more to come. This is just being delayed for a lot of different reasons that we may not even understand or begin to understand based on what we got going on here. But from a chart perspective, which is what I always do, which is where I'm always at with it, right, is basically what the charts are saying, what it looks like from that move. We have this long downtrend that's been established since the tweet from Roaring Kitty on Christmas. Right, December 26th was the following day after we opened up. $34.37 was the high of that date. We have since then formed a downtrend that has been broken slightly on a couple different occasions as of this morning. Once, twice, three times faked out to the downside. As you know, I like to say, before every good breakout, you first need a fake out. And that's what we've been seeing. All right, so a couple different ones. Bear traps, bull traps, bear traps, bull traps. And now we will see what happens next. We'll see how things play out. But if we do come down a little bit lower, we want to see us probably come back down towards that $31.59 mark one more time for maybe a potential triple bottom on GME. All right. Myself and the folks in the Discord, we did go and enter calls at this second test of 31.60. Those calls went up about 50% so far today. They were weeklies, which I don't typically recommend on GME or any meme stock because they like to play games. So in this case, those went pretty wild, pretty decent. I'm going to say wild. They went pretty decent. Got this move from about 31.60 all the way up to about 32.40. Trim a little bit up top, and now kind of watching this melt off kind of happening situation that we're dealing with now. But it's kind of clear to see we got some heavy resistance on the buyer side. I used the order blocks opportunities or the order blocks indicator that you can see here. You probably saw when we started off the stream a minute ago. The order blocks in this case are kind of trying to keep this stock range bound. All right, so it is something to pay attention to. They're going to try and hold us in this range probably if we don't necessarily break out today, which it doesn't look like we will based upon how they're trying to hold us. We could. This trend line or this entire setup I have here, this wedge that we've been building since, again, that Roaring Kitty tweet, it ends today about 12:25 Eastern. Right, it'll be the end of it, but we're technically out of it at this point. We broke out to the upside, we broke down to the downside, so we're no longer in it. But right for the moment, it's over at this point. So we'll see if we actually can get a push up above it cleanly. But for the time being, it doesn't look like it's the case at the moment. We do still have a lot of buying pressure in this range that wants to try to press this thing up, but we also met equally with selling pressure that doesn't want that to happen either. So if they try to sideways trade this thing, they're just moving back the inevitable back one more week. Take a look at the 1 hour. You can clearly see in this trend, blue represents the sellers, green represents the buyers. Completely pinned in this area for the foreseeable time. Right, now this doesn't give us the idea of where this thing ends time-wise. It's only giving us what it looks like at the present moment. So it's not going to tell me, okay, these orders are going to evaporate by January 9th, quote unquote. But they're here for the duration until they decide to either get them out of the way or whatever. Either the seller's got to give up or the buyer's got to give up. Somebody's got to capitulate. Based on the entire chart, doesn't look like it's going to be the bulls. Does not look like it's going to be the bull. Looks like eventually will be the bears, but we got to embrace the delay that this is going to take in order to kind of get up. So again, set expectations on this thing. Don't think it's going to run to 100 next week. This could take a few months. All right. I mentioned in the past, in my last couple streams, and also in my last video on GME, that I'm expecting it to hit the highs or a test of all-time highs somewhere in February. All right. So just want to make that clear from a time frame perspective. My time window is still within that frame of time. Let's go to the markings here on this just so we can actually see it. I've had it all worked out here, which has been here for months now. I'm expecting a all-time high test. You can see this little white box. ATH test latest, February 25th, 2025. All right, that's what I'm looking for now. We're gingerly approaching that time frame. We got all the breakouts we need to see for the time being, but it's just, again, could take a little longer than people think. And it wouldn't make sense, in my opinion, for them to do it right when it's the anniversary. It'd be dope if it did happen that way, but the anniversary of the squeeze, I don't know. It'd be a little too easy to pinpoint. So what do? They try to hold you back. And have everybody buying 125 calls, and then they just hold it sideways so everybody loses their money. So be careful with taking those way out of the money calls. If you're going to play them, play them close to the chest and do it like that. I think it's a much safer play, much safer option to play that way. All right. Shares don't expire. It can't go wrong. I bought today. Every time it dips underneath $32, I'm buying more. Why? Because that's what this chart says, and also that's where the buyers are showing strength. Quite obviously, looking at this whole situation here with the order blocks, if they're buying down here, I'm buying down here. the overall chart says bullishness, so it makes perfect sense. I do still believe we'll see much higher numbers over the time being. Target in the short term, at least, if we can get this clean break above this area of this downtrend from the Roaring Kitty tweet. My next target will be somewhere in the 707 on this retracement, about $33.20, $33 to $34 possibly, which is a revisit of the one at about $34.37. But we'll see how this all plays out over the next little bit. All right, let me see what else popped in here since. All right, we got Jesse. Welcome back, my man. Happy New Year, Iron Man. Happy New Year. Peace and blessings once again, folks. Appreciate all you guys, as usual, for stopping in. You could choose to be anywhere else in the world, but you're spending time here with me on New Year's Eve. What better way to do it? Appreciate you guys once again. As always, I'm at very most, if not providing a little bit of value, opportunity, or at least, at very least, a little bit of entertainment as we watch these charts, man. All right, a little music in the background, a little conversation, and a possible run on GME. I mean, let's do that. Let's do that. Who else has popped in? Braveheart, welcome back. Love God, peace and blessing. Once again, appreciate you guys stopping in. As I like to say, it's a lonely sport, but it's always better with people around, good people, man. And that's why we do what we do here every single time, as many times as we possibly can. All right, hopefully everyone has some decent plans or whatever it is, whether or not you're spending time with the people you love or whatever the case may be. Between that, maybe you might be going to party your block off. You know, we'll do that, but do it to the fullest, man, and enjoy all of it as we get into 2025. And my prayer for everybody is bigger and better. All right, bigger and better, more fruitfulness, more abundance going into 2025 than the year prior, and just appreciate it every step of the way as we make our way. All right, let's see here. AMC. I put out a tweet yesterday. Now, again, it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. But again, I look at things a lot of times in order to not be, depressed by things. Sometimes you gotta laugh at pain, just a little bit. But AMC is in a spot as it's been ever since the tweet or the dilution news. But we're still in the buyer section area, right? Here again, we talk about order blocks. Notice again this green box here, right, is kind of an area where they're trying to buy this thing up. I mean, maybe lower. All right, if you start losing this area, again, I mentioned this is a downtrend here from the all-time, not the all-time, I keep saying that, from the high run-up back in January. This orange line is what you're trying to hold on to, as we mentioned last stream. So you're trying to hold on to this downtrend and just trying to stay above it, stay alive. And you can see it's equally met with the buyers in this range. This green box is a buyer's location. You also can see within that green box, you have a little bit of blue, which is basically where the sellers are holding. They want to keep you underneath 406, which is the base that we started the entire run from 406 all the way back up to 540, which we were able to catch this play beautifully. If everybody remembers that one, if we were in on it from X when I posted that one. However, we're now below that. That is now going to serve as a major resistance, and these sellers have placed their orders right there because they know what being back above 406 could potentially mean for a potential pushback up. At the same time, you have this order block sitting here holding this range, which is again that downtrend, this orange line from the move from way back at on the $21 or $25 run back in January 2021. Let me just make sure it's clear so you guys can see that. So back up here, which we use the daily because that's going to show the wick. Okay. And that orange line stems from here, basically trying to put you back within this side of things. This is the side we don't want to be on, which we've been on for a while. This is the inside where we want to be in. We were almost in there on one occasion, which is just Zern, 2 occasions, which was the May squeeze, and now we got back up in there on the move on this earlier this month, right where Adam Aaron dropped us off, right here for the 3rd time, and they now have knocked us back underneath it. We just want to try to hold to stay inside the party, right? And on this side, we want to be on this side of the club, not on this side of the club. This is where the fun is happening. This right here is more despair. We get down here, we'll see all-time lows again. But if we stay on this side, we have a chance to eventually move in the right direction over the next little while. So ultimately, I want to see, again, I mentioned on AMC, possibly getting down as low as 376. We got very close. We have a piercing line that actually pierced this this downtrend once again. Just real quick, as low as about 387. My 376 target was not touched, but this is actually a good thing. We're holding inside the order box. We want to see something, hopefully very soon. We get some kind of positive news from Adam Aaron or something at some point to start to turn this around and get back above the 4s. But we're losing time. One thing we have on our side right now is that volume is very, very thin. And all we need is a little bit of a ignition, something to set this thing off back to the other direction. But until we see that, we'll continue to bleed. So be mindful. If we start losing 390 again, we can start to drop a little bit lower toward that. And it looks like it's starting to happen as we speak. So just keep an eye on this thing. I know a lot of people are watching. I'm still holding. I didn't mean, when I put the tweet out on X, it was just in good fun because it's taking a long freaking time. And this guy's making it any easier with the dilution stuff. So, but I'm still holding, not going anywhere. I'm going to continue to talk about AMC. I know a lot of people don't talk about AMC because of a lot of different reasons. But I'm not going nowhere. I've been here 4 years and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, man. Until it starts to turn around. And then we can all party again like we used to. All right. Let's see here. Who else has popped in? We got Love God, peace once again. Braveheart, peace once again. Happy New Year, my man. Stock on Stocks, welcome back. The endless back test. Yes, sir. It's right on top of it. Caesar. Happy New Year, man. Thank you so much, man. Likewise. Daniel, what's happening? Welcome back, my friend. I got a couple that I'm in right now, just nothing major, but GME was the only, this is probably my last play I'm going to take for the year was GME. And it's pretty much shooting back down right now. It was a $32 call we took this morning in the Discord, about 50% play this morning, and it's coming back down to try to retest for a potential triple bottom. We'll see if that happens. And AMC also is dragging down. Look at the order blocks again. Lost this order block, so now you're back at the next order block at 390. Just so you can see if anybody wants to add this opportunity to do this amongst other stuff that we use within the Discord. This is just one of them, one of the strategies outside of several. Yeah, definitely stuck on stocks, man. Yeah, we're right on top of that downtrend, man. We're just losing it at the moment. All right, it's not a good sign. All right, if we start losing it, we'll come down to 376. If we make a new low off of the push that happened down, 387, that's probably what's going to happen. But that's my target. If 376 doesn't hold, then we're talking 330. But I mean, I would hope Adam Aaron could see that, you know, we're drowning out here. Like, say something, do something as soon as possible. Help. Help. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean this is still a value buy in my opinion, so I'm not gonna sell it anytime soon. It just sucks to go through this. That's all. So I make jokes just because sometimes you gotta do that to keep from crying, right? Because it's the craziest stock in my portfolio right now. Sometimes I don't even want to look at it. But it is what it is at this point. But anyways, as far as continuing to watch it to make sure that we're on tap to potentially start to turn around, I still think there's a chance, but it's going to take some time, right? The delay is really what it is. So it's been a couple years. It can take a little bit more. It just is what it is. But give it the time to do what it needs to do, and hopefully management can do what they need to do to help us out on this end. Let's see. Other than that, a couple of guys in the Discord picked up FFIE. Man, FFIE, MVIS, they're killing it in there. I'm really, really happy to see what we got going on. It did push back to $3. So, I don't know if you're in here, Bates, but it did come down a little bit. So, this is what I was talking about. It's happening already. But let's see what's happening here. I don't know if you're in the stream right now. But, yeah, it's happening quickly. So, that was a spot to take some profits, I guess, in this case. But again, you want to put yourself in a position to be able to get a little bit of both. All right, so the re-up is possible. I mentioned 302. It hit 305. If you hold 302, you're looking for another push up. I think that this thing can really start to move up really soon. $5, $7, very possible on this deal. So you're looking for this move to eventually happen. You want to break this downtrend soon, and then you're probably going to move back up towards that level. But can it dip underneath this? The main line you want to pay attention to is 302. That's going to be your number. But shout out to anybody that was able to catch this play, man, because I was not looking at it. But again, a couple of guys in the Discord were watching it, and they caught some bangers off this thing, man. So I'm really happy to see that in this situation. All right. Who else has popped in here on the chat room? Manny, what's happening, man? Good morning, my friend. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. A is looking for a reverse split. Man, I hope not. Just let the stock just do what it needs to do. I really would hope that would be the case. You hear me? All right, good stuff, Bates. Good stuff, man. So yeah, it's at that $3 level, man. So just keep an eye on it, man. Hopefully it took a little something, but this is a spot I was really looking forward to get to. All right. But watch this particular line, 302. I mean, we missed it by 3 cents. It's hit 305 today. And at 305 is the, what line was that off the fib? That is the 0.95. It's back above it. 0.95 is at 318. All right, so you're above 318. That should be the spot where you start to, probably press up. That's probably why I'd buy a little bit. Actually, I'm thinking about it. So we'll see how that works out. But it basically retraced the entire move from today. That's your support almost at the open. So you might start to press up from there. All right. Let's see what else we got. Who else? Announcement coming soon? Bro, that's absolutely suck. I would really hope that they start to reverse this damn, or start doing what they need to do to stop messing with AMC. Zany, what's happening, man? Welcome back. Happy New Year's. I'm drowning in AMC when you A to sound the track. Oh man, we don't want to hear that, man. Not anymore. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the we don't want to hear the noise, man. That'd be absolutely nuts. That would really freak me out if we hear that noise. I'm thinking about joining you on this FFIE, Bates. Might get some FFIE in this range. Just some shares. I'm not going to... Matter of fact, I might just do that. I might just join you on some shares. I'm not going to get any calls. Hold on one second. So I'm going to grab some FFIE down here. I think I like it in this range. But FFIE was a big breakout, man. Let me get a couple shares. When they go 4-3. I got to hurry up before it starts moving. You double down at $3? My man. See, that's what I'm talking about. Don't waste no time. Yeah, I'm grabbing some FFIE, man. Might as well, because this thing can run to like $7. If it does it, hey, then cool. I mean, we bought what was it? BBAI, all right? If you guys have been watching BBAI, A couple guys in the Discord as well. This thing at $5. We bought this thing at $2. All right, this is how it works. All right, it's the same. I mean, we knew it was gonna go up there. We didn't know it was gonna go do it that fast. But it's the same. It's very similar, right? It can get up once you have a breakout like this. You can go up pretty quickly. Now we're in the golden pocket in this situation. 3 times tested the golden pocket, but FFIE is another game. All right, so I'm definitely gonna grab some here and just ride it up. It's going red a little bit. Let's see if it hits down here in a minute, and I was gonna grab some about $3. I just set my order at $3.02. Let's see if we can get some in a little bit. So set it and forget it, and I'll walk away. If it goes lower, I'll be looking to average down. All right, let's start with 100 shares. Let's see how that looks for now. One sec. Bear with me just one moment, guys. I'll just get this order set up. I did 200 shares. Let's see how that works out in a little bit. And then I'll average down if it dips underneath into the twos in a little while. All right, so GME getting wrecked. It's for the moment. And let's see here, 301 now on FFIE. Cool. That's fine with me. All right, leave that alone for a little bit. So it is dumping a little bit at $3, underneath $3. Let's see what happens. It can sweep a little bit lower on FFIE. All right, so I filled 100 instead of 2. I like this little dip underneath $3, and we'll see what happens next. All right, cool with me. Totally fine with that. Now, I have orders all the way down here. It's possible to go lower, but let's just keep that in mind. But this is a good spot to me. All right. Where's my, so I'll leave this alone. I'm not going to look at it for now. I'll see how we operate later on. Where's a SPY? So SPY, I need to pull that up at 287. So SPY continuing to push down back into that, trying to catch that uptrend one more time. Okay. Yesterday, fantastic play on SPY on that rip upwards. Really happy about that move. I'm going to pull that sound up in a minute just because it's important to at least see. I think it's important. It's funny as hell. But let me just mind these positions for one moment. All right. Did I get stopped out of lunar? No, I didn't. I'm still in lunar. Okay. Jeez, everything's getting hammered now with the SPY falling down. All right, so a lot of profit taking, so you got to expect it. Again, tax harvesting and stuff like that. They caught this move from down here off the liquidity box on SPY yesterday, made a boatload on that. What you have for them in the short term is a inverse Adam and Eve, so it makes sense for it to break this level, possibly try to come back and retest 585 is very possible. You want to kind of hold that uptrend, but if not, you will dip into this liquidity box one more time and then try to come back up. But we'll see. I mean, keep an eye on it, but it is the end of the year. You know, took my last trade of the year outside of just buying these other shares here on FFIE. We'll see what happens in a little bit. But it hit $5 in pre-market. Let's see what else we got going on. Let me find that damn that damn track. Hold on a second. Hilarious, man. Jason, I don't remember what the hell it's called. It's somewhere around here. I can't remember it. But anyways, let me go back to the chat room. All right, so as far as GME can come down to about $31.11, $31.12, somewhere in that range with this market sell-off. So we started off pretty green today on the market. GME right now, where are we at? $31.46. Yeah, they killed that uptrend, and now we just lost that uptrend just for a second. Next target down, $31.30. This is my own special. You're not going to find this in any textbook. All right, this is my own setup. All right, this is the 0.16 and the 0.95. All right, those are your next targets down. $31.33. If you break $31.33, you're going to $31.11. I have some levels in between. about 31.28, very possible if you hit that 31 or break through 31. And once again, your buyers are still sitting here pretty resolute in this area down here. So we got a false breakout, 2 false breakouts, and now we're pushing downward. So again, if you got those weeklies, you know, that's why we trim. That's why we take profits, because weeklies are risky. But we did pick up weeklies this morning. We played from 31.60 all the way up to about 32.50. It took the majority up there. Now it's obviously selling off based upon what we could see on the order blocks and also this downtrend that was established. We lost this uptrend here. We're now inside that gap that's created between where the orders are sitting, which line up with some of the fibs. All right, 31.46, and hit the top of this order block at about 31.40. All right, we're kind of in this range now between 31.40 and roughly about 31.47. But it looks, again, those buyers are still pretty strong. We'll see if this thing can rocket back up, because now we have a lower low that's created off today's action. I would like to see this thing, again, spring back up, right? Spring right back upwards and then try to attack this thing. But, again, we have this big range anywhere between 31.58 and about 32.30. All right, that's a range that we're dealing with, where the buyers and sellers are trying to keep this thing under control, right? And also steal people's options money. so be careful. Shares, anytime it dips under 32 bucks, personally, I've been buying shares, like, you know, all the last couple days. Every time it dips underneath 32, so that's what I'm going to continue to do. And that's the situation, man. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Once again, if you do hit the like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, we'd love to continue to have you here going into 2025 as we get ready for that to happen. All right. All of that good stuff, man. Definitely hit the like and subscribe as we do this thing like we do when we do. All right, let me see here once again. Where's my tracks real fast? Bear with me one moment, because it just switched up on me. And who just asked about, so the holiday deal situation is still available till the end of the night. I don't know if Daniel, I think I might have sent it to you, but it is available till the end of the night. The 25% off the normal price is sitting there, but it will change by the night. So for next year, will be a different cost on that, because we're adding more value to it. So hopefully it will benefit you even further in the next coming couple of months and years, if you guys want to jump into it. So it is, the link is in the description. I'll put it here. If you guys want to take advantage of that, today will be the best that you'll get it. And also will be grandfathered in at the current price of the holiday deal. So once you're grandfathered in, as long as you stay with us, you'll keep that price as long as you stay with us, man. So I will post that in the chat room here. It's in the description, but I also post it in the chat room and pin it to the top of the discussion board. All right. In a minute, give me 1 second while I get my tracks back, and then we'll jump into that. Let's do the Chic Luch thing. That'll work. That'll work. You can't go wrong with Chic Luch. All right, cool. Let me get that set up here once again. Give me 1 second here. All right, so cool. All right, in that as well, if you guys want to check that out, added the custom indicators as well as the platinum cross up and platinum strategy will also be part of the package. You get advantage of that if you decide to jump in, and you get to grab those as well. All right, a lot of the stuff that I use up here will be yours for just that comes along with the attendance in the Discord Way Up group. All right, check that out. It is now posted. As far as what else we got up here, it's so funny. What's the hope case for AMC bull case? We gotta hold that trend line. That's it, and we gotta hope this guy says something while we're holding this area. If he doesn't say something soon, we'll just keep melting, because everything's bearish right now on AMC. I'll give you an example on AMC in a second here. Daniel, can you look up? Says, can you look up KLUR? Had a big dump recently. Just wondering if it can pump back up. Gotta remember to take these profits, man. Taking profits is a virtue. All right, that's gonna help you in the long run. So don't hold for the moon. Like, snatch profits at levels, and it's good to know the levels. This is part of our strategy. We know the levels where we're gonna hit in order to take profits. So there's certain spots that you need to be aware of. But we'll take a look at KULR in a minute here. I'll check it out for you, and we'll jump back in the AMC as well. Just want to show you something on that, because it's, I want to make it clear. Again, it's not dead, but I want to give you a visual. I want to give you a visual indication of what we're seeing on AMC versus like a GME. All right, just until this guy says something, because it's not looking great at the moment. Let me look at KULR real quick for Daniel, and then we'll jump into that, because I think we can move through that much quicker. 21% fall off. It looks like you've probably ended your waves on KULR. Now, just for the time being, I'm not saying this is a bearish stock anymore, but it looks like you have just retraced for another move down. Let's see real quick. Let's find out. Give me 1 second here.
I'm getting back on track with.
So, as far as this is concerned, got KULR. Looks like you're getting prepared for a fifth wave. It doesn't look like it's going to fall off that deep from what I can see right away. Looks like this is the start. But as far as this is concerned, we talked about this before. I think last week when it was on here, last Friday, you hit $5 again, $4.99. All right, you got to look at that as a heavy resistance. I think you might have. I think when we talked about it last time, you did take resistance, take some profits off that level. We knew it was going to be a hard one to actually break through, right? Because again, it's just topping out at its previous all-time high. Like, you don't just break out of that easily. But ultimately, I do believe you'll eventually get your next move up. This is 1, this is 2, this will be 3. You get 4, you might get one more push up. All right, this will be your fifth wave. Usually pretty truncated. It's not necessarily that deep. Could it come down to the $2 level, $2.21? Very possible. But right now, at the moment, you are just kind of retracing because you hit a major resistance. You tested it a couple times, looks like, and now you're just trying to hold this uptrend that's been established. You could, if you start losing this, then that's a different story. You could come down much lower, probably somewhere into that range, into the lower 2s, or retest the top of the golden pocket and the 707 and the $1 and some odd cents. But for now, if you're holding shares, you got to expect it, or whatever the case is, or calls, you got to expect to at least go into the mid 2s before trying to recover off of this. You're looking for a test or hold at least of this recent high, which is roughly at about 311, and then possibly lower to the end of this candle back here. All right, the end of this candle back here. This would be your general range, roughly about 281 to about $3.11. It's most likely going to hit that. Now, what you're watching here for is the continuation of volume to drop as it approaches that area. What's the low today? 320. You want volume to continue to be dried out as it approaches that area, so that can indicate at some point in time you'll have a reversal that will get you to the next wave up. Which again, hopefully, we don't want to take you to about $9 possibly, so $7.21, somewhere in this range, 7 to 9 over time. But right now, you just have this retracement that has to happen, and then from there, you try to hold support into the mid 2s, and eventually try to get one more push up before this thing starts to correct. A, B, and C correction, probably back down to the golden pocket. But can you hold out? That's a question. But again, that's why we try to take profits as many times as you can, just to secure yourself from the risk of downside. But for the time being, man, it's most likely going to come down to retest and then try to push up one more time. But 20% is excessive. I mean, it's pretty excessive, but it's how it works. The market's also pushing down as well, which is just speeding up the process. I don't think it's distributive. I think for the longer term, it's still looking to go up to the higher numbers, but you got to give it the time to do so. but hopefully it took some profit at that level, roughly around that $5 level. Short term, it is in a short-term distribution pattern. All right, you had this first sign of weakness that showed itself here. This is your up thrust after distribution, and then now you're starting to hit last points of support, supply, last point of supply, and now you come down to here to try to retest this area for buying, and then eventually try to curl back up, as we mentioned, to try to hit one more higher high before falling off into, you know, the whole reaccumulation pattern back into the golden pocket on the daily time frame. Everything comes with an ABC correction, and it's probably going to happen soon. Hopefully not sooner than later. This doesn't have to play out, but again, you're waiting for the market to hopefully bounce. And again, it makes perfect sense at the end of the year because everybody's taking money off the books and they're preparing themselves for tax losses and all that type of stuff. It's totally normal for the market to do what it's doing over these last couple of days. It's just part of the game. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Once again, appreciate everybody stopping in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'd love to continue to have you going forward as we check out these charts and watch this. Transactions don't work on AMC. Let's see, pound, then they squeeze eventually. Next point of interest is on 1-3 for upside squeeze. It's possible. It's possible. He might just say something on this week, right, on Friday. I would love for that to happen, man. If there's anybody that would love it, bro, I would love it. I'm sure everybody here would love it too, right? so I want to let me see 1 second here. Just want to give you an example of something. Again, I want to point this out. Give me 1 moment here. Let's see something. All right, let's see 1.6. Let's go 4.6, 3.6 on this. All right, cool. Actually, I won't even do that. All right, let's go to the daily. All right, this is AMC. All right, from a seller's perspective, all right, this is delta volume. Just showing where the sellers are showing strength or how this thing looks from a bearish perspective versus, we've discussed this in Discord, we get a little more deep into it in there. But I just want to give you a brief idea of what we're looking at versus what GME is doing. All right, for the time being, now, we won't really see anything major happen with AMC until it gets above $7. We all kind of can see that at this spot. Definitely above $5, as we know. 566 flips everything positive, and then from here, it's all negative pressure. Just want to make that clear. This is a visual indication of what we're seeing from a pressure perspective. Now, once you start to cross $7, right? It's happened in the past. This entire area, ever since Judge Zern did what she did, or that whole debacle, it's been nothing but negative delta pressure, right? This delta volume is negative the entire time. We've only had one time where it's flipped the opposite direction, which was back here. Notice the delta volume was negative, sold off, and we finally broke above that line, and that's when you got to squeeze. All right, it's very possible for us in this case. Our level for us to do this would be above $7, which it can happen very fast if we cross 566. But obviously we were not able to do that last week, which I was really hoping for us to do it before we diluted. I digress. But that's when everything flips bullish. You'll get the green wave and it'll start to move up higher. We would be in this position at this point, but we need something to kick this off, some kind of volume to kick this off in order to go up. This again, the top side of this line. Let's keep it simple, outside of having a conversation about delta volume and all that nonsense. But for the time being, until we get above this line, which is at 765, this is going to continue to be bearish pressure. And if we don't get any volume soon to turn this around, we'll just keep melting off. All right, but we most likely will hit about 376. If 376 fails, we're at 333. Now, just for contrast purposes, we're going to look at GME in the same lens. All right. This is GME's chart, short term. Delta volume is at 53%. All right, on a daily. AMC, I mean, it's Not saying that AMC is a bad, it's a value play in this range, but I just want to give you an example of what we're seeing. Negative 25% on delta volume versus GME is positive 53%. Like it's apples to, when you're comparing this from this perspective, you can see why GME is technically currently right now the play and leading the pack. And this is just one perspective. There's several others we can use to see that, but for the time being, that's just one we can use. So let me just do something real quick, and I'll give you another example. 4.6, and then we'll do that as well. All right. And then from this perspective on GME, it gets even crazier. All right. Look how deep GME is bullish. And look at AMC. Everything on the week, every time frame is bullish on GME. If we go into a situation where we look at this a little bit deeper, right, you can see.
Come home for the holidays to Disney Plus.
Let's go here. 1 second. Let me go and discuss that. GME is just sitting right on this, pushing up every time it gets anywhere near bearish. It just pushes up. AMC, on the other hand, comparatively speaking, check this out. Anytime it gets any type of wave of any type of energy for any reasons, it's very clear to see they want to keep this underneath this wave. Right? They don't want it up here. It's very possible to see that. Now every time frame as well. Short term has a bullish look to it. 4 hour, 6, the 60-minute, which is the 1 hour. But the daily, the weekly, and the monthly all have bearish trends, and the volume is also showing it. Negative 25 is pretty bad. For the time being, we just need something to trigger us upwards and get us above that level, which I mentioned again is about 765 over time, and then we can start to really have a squeeze potentially happen. The same way it happened way back when, back in January of 2021. But again, looking at it from this perspective, look at all of this red the entire time ever since we squeezed the $70. If you would have known this the entire time we're able to see this, you probably wouldn't have held or been buying up here, right? But again, it got really bad when APE was introduced. So when I made that joke on X, that's more what I was looking at. The perspective I'm looking at it from was, again, it's just a tough situation. But again, what we're looking for is for a break above that 760 something level. This whole thing will start to flip green, and then we'll get that press up out of that negative range. Delta volume goes positive, and then we get one more squeeze and hopefully start to hold above these clouds in order for us to continue. But that might take a little while. It could happen on January 3rd, like you mentioned, but it could take a little more time. So let's set our expectations, because this stuff gets wild as things move on. All right. Yeah. So long story short, that's the reason at this point in time to be bullish on GME and just continue to buy up on AMC. If you're going to continue to average down, we're in average down area. We are in a long-term portfolio building area on the price. But I know it's been a long time, but we just got to continue in this area. If you've been waited this long, I'm not going nowhere. If you are, I get it. I totally understand, but I ain't going nowhere. I'll be here to talk about it. We can discuss it. We can go over it as many times as we need to, guys. All right. Hey, what's happening, Oaks? Definitely, man. Happy New Year once again, my friend. All right. Let me go back into the Discord real quick. Let me 1 second. All right, cool. All right. Appreciate everybody once again stopping in. Last trade of the year. DB Sherry, what's happening? Have a problem taking profits? Does your program provide the take profit prices? I really want to learn how to. Yes, we do. I just mentioned a minute ago. So as far as that's concerned, you would have certain areas that would make sense to take profit in. Now, if the only thing we can't help out with, or the only thing we got to keep in mind, is that we can't. There's no indicator. There's no strategy. There's nothing that can actually help us in terms of the emotional side of things, right? You have to use the data that's in front of you. Use the data that's in front of you, and then you have a plan that you can see, and you take profit at that plan. You don't stretch it. You don't say, okay, what if this happens? What if? Nah. If you decide to do that, you have to understand your risk. But on the strategy that we use, we look at it from a perspective of specific targets, specific areas, and we try to stick as much to those areas as we possibly can. If you feel a little froggy, you want to get a little, go a little longer, perfectly fine. Just understand that's what runners are for, right? And runners are just that. If they're gonna run, let them run. For instance, Lucid. I have a runner on Lucid right now is up 400 and some odd percent from $250 calls. Now I took most of my profits way under that, 100, 200%. But runners sometimes in cases like that are positioned or they're designed to do just that. Let them play out the way they play. And that's again how we do it. Now the specific targets that I have in place, a lot of them based on EMAs, a lot of them based on SMAs, and they're also based on areas such as the fib levels, right? Fib ratios and fib retracements. Those will give you great indications of where to take your profits, where to get in and get out. But again, nothing we can do, no chart, no nothing, can give you a spot where you should take profit if your emotions are not in check. And that's really what we're trying to make sure we stay by, is keeping your emotions in check as possible and knowing where the spots to get in and get out are, so you can make the best informed decision about taking your profits. Because at the end of the day, the point is to make the outcome income, right? We're not trying to make the outcome losses. No, the outcome is income. Even if it's a 10%er, a 5%er, a 30%er, a 100%er. The point is to make your gains much bigger than your losses. And that's how this all works, man. All right, so hopefully that explains it, but there's a lot more in depth. You can make the jump and actually make the learn the strategy pretty quickly. All right, we had somebody that jumped in a couple days ago. He took a play yesterday. Well, he jumped over the weekend. He took his first play yesterday. He was up $1,300. I mean, it just like that off that spy call yesterday. It works. He got out early. He didn't follow the stuff, but again, it was enough for him. It was enough for him, so it works. Again, you do what works for you, right? The amount of money that he made was enough for him for that moment. I continued to hold, but I had runners that allowed that to happen, for me to happen. But again, that's how it works. But ultimately, that's the scenario. So check it out. If you want to check us out, it is in the link. It is in the description. You'll get better at it, and as you go on, and the more you get used to saying this stuff, it just becomes second nature. You know how to grab these particular ones, find them every single time they come up, and then position yourself accordingly to be able to make the most out of each play. All right. All right. What else? What you got here? Let me see what else is in the chat. All right. Ain't no problem, Daniel. You're welcome, man. Craig, last trade for me was some Amy in the Roth. I hear that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And GME is looking like it's going to do the thing. I'm about to cue the McMahon memes. Uh-oh. Hey, John. I think it might be time. All right. We see. So, for instance, we took calls on GME. All right. We took calls this morning on GME for $32 calls. I didn't play out of the money. Didn't get hundreds. Nothing like that. $32 calls in the Discord. Those went up 50% on this push. We know our liquidity areas. We talked about that. We know our buyer's order blocks. We can see that. We can see how GME is bouncing. We know each level. All right, the levels that I have are very specific. If you guys have been here around for a while, or you've seen me talking about them on X, they're very specific based on specific things. You can play within those windows, right? As we just showed you a little while ago. In this case, right? For instance, this is just one strategy, but in this window, you can see where your sell orders and buy orders are. All right, all you got to do is get the direction right. You want to get the targets right, that's a whole other story, but we can do that as well. But the point is, again, to make your losses much smaller than your gains. All right. Let's see here. Family Tina. Actually, let me listen to this. This is dope.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of.
But right now, it's looking like we might get another bounce on GME in a few minutes here. Looking really good. Well, let's see if the sellers give up. I would prefer. I would prefer these guys to just get rid of the sell block. That'd be nice. And let us freaking run up already. Ridiculous, man. Spaghetti Master, what's happening? Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Hey, J. Cole, man, I appreciate it, man. J. Cole be killing him. J. Cole, man, it's one of the all-stars out here, man. He's doing his thing. He's been killing it over the last couple of weeks. Grim Thug, and he says for anyone barely opening a position, it's a good idea to buy a call for 20 strike and exercise my first 100 shares and start wheeling? Absolutely, I totally agree with that. For especially any lower price stocks, right? It's the wheel, right? It's funny. It says round and round we go, no doubt. You can play the wheel strategy. The wheel strategy will definitely build your account. That is a strategy you can use once you get in depth with a particular chart. You don't necessarily need to jump around to different plays. You know, we can play directional, but you can also play one chart. You don't have to jump to 20 different charts at the same time. We do it when opportunity presents itself, but if you want to build out, you can start off with a small account on a small stock, which is less than 10 bucks, if anything, $2, $3, or whatever the case may be, and you can play it that way until you build your account to a successful number or a reasonable number that's enough for you to trade with comfortably, right? You can do that all day long. Just cover calls, cash secured puts, cover calls, cash secured, over and over again. That's a strategy that is well documented. And you can start there in order to build things out for yourself and then start taking the directional plays later. But round and round, bro. Bars out here, right? That was well timed, bro. Well timed. Kudos, man. Round and round we go, though. That's the way to do it. And you can really milk it. Some people, that's their strategy the entire way. They don't even care about the stock that they're dealing with, which 9 times out of 10 when we're playing a chart, we don't have to really know what the chart is about or what the company even does. Man, they just really slap loose and down. Well, runners got to run. But you don't really necessarily need to know what the company does. You just need to know the direction that they're going in. And you can put yourself in position if they do get hauled away on the shares or called away on the shares, well, you probably didn't care to hold it anyway. So you still make money because of the fact that you bought it at the right price and know the levels you're dealing with. And that's really all it is. But once you get to a certain point, it's all on you how you want to run it. All right. Appreciate you, Grim Thug. I think it's your first time seeing your name here. Definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely hit the like and subscribe. We'd love to continue to see you going forward, my friend. But that was good, though. That was like perfect timing. And that was definitely good information, my man. Thug life, baby. Alright, hold on a second. Let me just take a look at this FFIE, see how it's doing. It's trying to recover back above. Let's see real fast. So for instance, FFIE, fantastic one to do it with. If you really wanted to try to play the game, look where it bounced. Discord guys, you know what I'm talking about. Bounced perfectly. It can come a little lower, but so far, off the 5 minute, we'll see what happens next. But it's one that you can play it with. Underneath 10 bucks. If you can go underneath $5, even better. You can play that game all day with those types of stocks. And again, it's cost effective as well. Let's take a look at the SPY in a minute. SPY is trying to recover in this range. It didn't get down to the liquidity box, kind of holding the neckline of the inverse Adam and Eve for the time being. Let's see if it fails and goes back the other way. All right, let's see here. All right, so it's going to get a little weird for the next couple of days, most likely. But as things start to pick up for January and stuff like that, you know, things will start to look better for the market. Going also, we have a quote unquote, you can call it a catalyst, but we're going into inauguration. All right, the new administration is going to take over. A lot of times, in my opinion, that's going to be what starts to really set things up for the moves going into the summer. And that's that. All right, we'll just see how that whole thing goes. Vital, good morning. Let me see here. I missed something here. GME was up 70% from $9.95 low before AMC squeeze. GME will be up 70% around $34. Makes sense. That makes sense. That's also another way you can look at it as well on GME if you're going to do a comparative deal.
Your new home deserves Xfinity.
And this.
All right, let me see
Not
here.
snowflakes.
Also do taxidermy.
Let's find out here. 1 second. Round and round. Did I miss any other tweets? It's kind of moving quickly a little bit here. Roth. Saw that. Chickadee. Saw that. Oaks Way, appreciate you, man. Spaghetti Master. Where would you grab a fib for Doge? Thanks for the info last week on Adam, by the way. Oh yeah, you made money on that? Congratulations, man. Let me look at Doge real quick, and then Adam. How'd that work out? Well, that was last week. Did it run up here? I don't remember what we talked about on it, but I was on. I don't know what day this was, but this looks like it ran up pretty nicely from what I can see. Don't know what day it was when we talked about it. I can't say when it was, but hopefully it worked out well. Obviously, it looks like it worked out well because it got the money sign behind it. So congratulations, man. J. Cole, you know you had to play this every now and again, man. It's a throwback right here. Throw some D's, man. All right, let me take a look at Doge real quick. Congratulations, Spaghetti Master, on Adam. It looks like it had a nice run up. Let's take a look at Doge. Where is Doge? Doge at 32. Where's my Doge though? Okay. Where's my Doge chart? My actual Doge chart. Because this might not be, I don't think it's on Tether, is it? No, it is on Tether. Okay. So Doge has a miniature breakout on this downtrend, but it's kind of range bound still a little bit. Let's take a look. But it looks more like a reaccumulation than it does. It's not distributing. It's not going downwards. It's just reaccumulating, and now it did have a breakout today, right? Over the last little bit, it looks like. So let me get rid of these order blocks because it kind of muddies things up a little bit. On the 1 hour, you push this breakout level here, which we're out a little while back. It was the fake out before the breakout. It rips downwards and then pushes back up. So now your target is going to be up here at about $33.97. Excuse me, 0.3397. It always screws with me with these less than the penny stocks or cryptos. But ultimately, it looks like you're trying to push back up. This is going to take a while, but it doesn't look distributive. It looks like it's just going to go run back through the gambit, or this gauntlet, I should say, where eventually we'll start to press up. As time moves on, the 200 will come lower and lower, and price you want to continue to see press upwards off of this downtrend, which is, again, it has broken out of officially, and now holding above this 0.618. This pink lines are going to represent your golden pocket on the daily. All right, so it's just doing the thing it needs to do. Retested the 0.65 back a little while ago, which is at 30 cents. Let's remove the indicators for a minute. So 30 cents is the golden pocket. You bounced off that. You did sweep below it, hit the 0.618, and now you're just trying to reaccumulate for the next push up. All right, just again run up, sideways trade down, reaccumulate, spikes, reaccumulate, and then you push back up again. I don't think that Doge is anywhere near done. It just did what it needs to do from a chart perspective. All charts do this, right? It's just a matter of time. How long can you wait for this particular move here? Check this out here to happen again. It's gonna happen again, and you'll move into the next phase, right? Notice this again. It's once, twice, 3 times, and that, I believe, will take you up much higher. Now, is $3.76 possible? 1618, it's possible, right? It's it's possible, very possible. It'll be wildness because people bought this thing at less than a penny to be up there, but it's very possible. All right, so I would continue to hold your conviction because you're way further along on this thing than you are on a lot of things. All right. But now you're looking good here. From this point, I would continue to buy at this 30-cent range because eventually you will break out of this 30-cent range and head back up towards 53 cents, and then your target is still, in my opinion, touching all-time highs, at least. Which, from this spot, you'd be doubling your money. If you didn't hold any Doge at all, you'd be doubling your money. If anybody's new to it, you'd be doubling your money. All right? It's more than double, actually, because it's 64, you'd be about 110%, 120% up. Not bad. So now, can you go higher than that? $1, which is going to be a very psychological level. I definitely would say $1 is psychological, 99 cents $1. But once you break that, then forget it. This is a wrap. So keep it there just because we need to be it's going to be the eye. Eyes are going to be on that spot. Pretty sure that's the prize for everybody to see Doge at $1. All right, so let's leave that there. Exactly $1 right here. Boom. All right, I'll leave it there until we get there, but that's where you're going to go on Doge. And notice again, notice the pattern over and over again. Even in a larger time frame. This is wildness. Look at this here. It's the same thing. It's just much bigger. So it is, and so on and so on and so on. But Doge gets really wild at certain points. Now I don't know if it'll get up there, but for the time being, on this widening pattern, yeah, Doge gets wild. I mean, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but it doesn't mean it can't. You see what I'm saying? So it's better to have a little bit of Doge than not to. I'll leave it at that. All right. But those are your fibs. Again, from the all-time high down to the low, more recent low. 1618, it's up at 376. But in my opinion, it's going up to at least all-time highs. And possibly a new all-time high. All right. I read all year. Yeah, it happens sometimes, man. Hopefully next 2025 will do better, man. That's the whole point. 1% better every day, compound on top of that. And keep on. That's the deal. Let me see here. In terms of fire song, no doubt. Andre 3000. Depends. It's a couple. He got some tracks, man. Andre 3000 is one of the OGs from way back. All right. Pull at the right time. Yeah, those looks like a bear flight to me. It does for the moment, but it's landing where it needs to land. It's landing where it needs to land. This whole thing is, again, you got to look from the wider perspective. The weekly time frame is letting you know where you are. Right? It's just a matter of it continuing to move out. But overall, the accumulation phase is over. You're just kind of moving into an accumulate. But again, you got to look at it from a long-term perspective. Unless you're trying to trade it, that's a whole other story. If you're trading it, then we'll change the whole TA we just talked about. But if not, if you're just buying shares or coins in this case, I think the long term, this thing has a lot of upside. And Elon is not even in office yet, so when Elon gets in office, we'll see what happens. Technically speaking, he does seem like he's the vice president now. Yeah, let's find out in a little while. So just give it a little more time. As soon as Elon gets his office, I think it'll be just fine. All right, just about 12 now. Let's see a couple more things, then we'll get ready to roll. Just want to at least make sure we said peace to everybody once again. Before we go into the new year. All right. So let me see. Snatching FFI up underneath $3. Did that today, and got those GME calls. Got a little bit left on those. Slightly green at the moment. And those are my last. And also bought GME shares today. That's pretty much what I'm going to be done with or do for the rest of the year. I'm not going to do any other plays. Going to hold a couple other ones out, but those are the ones I'm watching for now. In the meantime. All right, DB. Oh, excellent. Congratulations. I can't wait to work with you, man. All right. Pleasure. I'll keep a look for you. I see your name in here. Excellent. Welcome. All right, we're gonna chat. Give me 1 second here. Welcome to the group. Let's see. Those looks like a bit okay. Vital says, I'm a new trader getting wrecked on here. Minus 10% on stock, but profile is much more like 40%. Yeah, it's you gotta start up small. I mean, it's easy to get excited to jump on and be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Again, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but definitely follow me on Twitter. Definitely follow you back on that. Yeah, I put out that little tweet yesterday about AMC, and we get in happy, and then over a little bit, of course, of time, we start to get that that bad drinker face, sour milk face, right? It takes a while, but if you keep the specific sets of rules and you set up your rules and you set your expectations accordingly, you can change it. It could take a couple of months, maybe at most. But once you start to really find a groove, play small and win big as many times as you possibly can, and use a system that actually helps you get to where you want to be. All of that will work itself out. It'll go from being, going from red to green real quick. All right, it doesn't take long. Like, the stock market works in exponential ways. It doesn't move linear. Like, you're not gonna make $1 today and then that $1 turn to $2 tomorrow. If you do it accordingly the right way, that $1 will compound on itself. And if you use options, and what you probably will learn, whether or not it's here with us or in other ways, it's exponential, right? It's exponential, and then you'll go from $1 here. That dollar could turn into $20, and so on. Right? That's maybe an overstatement, but you get my drift, right? It'll move up in exponential fashion. That's how it's designed. You just need to know what to look for, and then play smart. Keep your downside limited as much as possible, and then from there, watch your upside. All right, you want to try to have a nice risk to reward ratio. That's really the whole point. If you're interested, check us out, man. Would love to work with you on that. All right, 18 to 20.18 to 0.22 is my target buy zone for Doge. Otherwise, I'll pass on it. Hey, that's more opportunities. If it goes down there, bro, if it goes down to 22 cents again, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something. But it'll be a nice opportunity if it gets down there again. But after that breakout, it could be a retest or a breakout. But after that breakout, it looks pretty obvious that it kind of wants to hang up here. But if you lose the golden pocket, it's possible. But it's underneath 30 cents. Let's see here. Alright, actually, I don't want to play these guys because they always mess with me. That song comes on. Hold on 1 minute. Let's see, 1 second. That's the video. Once again, appreciate everybody stopping in. Once again, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's how we're doing this. Where's my other track real quick? I'll let this play for a little bit. Did we hear this already? I think we did. Let me play it again. This is how we feeling, man. It's 2025 out here. All right, we got to start 2025 off right, man. I'm going to feel good. All right. Throw it all around out here. All right, where's the SPY at? SPY did lose 588. Back at 587 right now. All good, all good. All right, but it is 1209. All right, other than that, GME still hanging around the same levels. Nothing really broken out. Nothing really happening. They're going to sideways trade this thing. I hope they decide to just rip this thing into the closing today. But it is a regular full day today, but got a couple errands to take care of as we go into 2024. Wife wants us to take care of a couple things. She's of the belief, so am I, of making sure some things get cleared out and cleaned up before the end of the year. So going to be doing that for the remainder of the day from this point on until we see the ball drop stuff. All right, but going to continue to watch this stuff, continue to get better. Like I always say, 1% better every day, compound on top of that. All right, it does change things. It can change the potential. It can change the situation no matter what it looks like for the time being. Things always get better. All right, the sun always comes out. All right, no matter what it looks like, stay with it. All right, as I like to say, buy back your time, improve your opportunities. All right, so you can spend more time with the ones that you love and care for. But on that note, I'm going to get ready to roll out, folks. But again, as always, I appreciate your time and energy and attention. It goes a long way to support the channel, support everything that's happening, and hopefully I'm providing at least some entertainment, at very least, outside of whatever other value that I can provide. All right. But we're going to get ready to roll out here. But again, I want to say again, appreciate you guys all very much. It's been a fun 2024 for the last 6 months now. We've been back on the stream since about June of this year. So about 6 months we've been doing this thing, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that pop in every time I hop on stream. And hopefully, we'll continue the trend. And hopefully you guys have been able to gain something. And I know I have. Just being here with you folks makes all the difference. All right. We get ready to roll out, but again, a happy new year. Have a blessed 2025. Let's say peace to everybody in the stream once again. Start at the top. Craig Murray, Jesse, Iron Man, Love God. Appreciate all you folks. Stuck on Stocks, my man Caesar. Happy New Year. Once again, Daniel. Manny, appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. Zany. Who else? Bang. Iron Man. What else do we miss? DB Sherry, appreciate you once again. We'll be on here in a little bit. Who else? Craig Murray. Oaks Way, Spaghetti Master, J. Cole, my guys, appreciate you. Spaghetti Master, Grim Thug, new friend. Definitely appreciate you once again. All right, who else we got up in here? Who else did I miss? Vital. It's going to be a green year 2025. We're going to make that work. All right. All right, who else? What did I miss? I think we got everybody. Pablo, peace. Once again, Happy New Year, everyone. No doubt, man. I'm glad we could do something together, and glad we can always come to these conversations and just, do what we do, man. But once again, I appreciate everybody. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. I really, really mean it. Perfect timing, right? All right, folks. Enjoy, y'all. Y'all take care. Stay blessed, y'all. Peace.